mga mabuting balita, sang-ayon po sa National Capital Region Police Office or NCRPO, napakalaki po ng binaba ng mga krimen na na-record nila. No? There was a 17.96, 18% decrease in crime volume recorded last year compared to the year before. Murder decreased by 23.38% from 1,976 in 2016 to 1,514 in 2017. Homicide decreased by 26.69% from 577 to 423. Physical injuries reduced by 7.62% from 4,830 to 4,462. And rape decreased by 17.49% from 1,098 to 906 incidents. Robbery decreased by 16.04% from 3,603 to 3,025. Theft decreased by 19.92% from 8,059 to 6,454. Carnapping decreased by almost 50%, 48.9%, from 317 to 162. And motorcycle theft also decreased by 31.04% from 1,221 to 842. And this is, of course, as a result of our renewed effort not only to go against dangerous drugs, but against all forms of criminalities. No? Another good news, the Build continues to roll out. In fact, the Department of Transportation led the commencement of work ceremony of the Philippine National Railways Project, or the Manila-Clark Project Phase 1, under the auspices of JICA. No? The project is estimated to cost 105 billion pesos. Phase 1 of the PNR Clark project entails construction of the rail system along the 38-kilometer segment from Tutuban to Malolos. It will have 10 stations and is expected to service around 340,000 passengers daily during its opening years. It is estimated that this new line will take only 35 minutes, no, from Tutuban to Malolos. NEDA has also approved the second part of this project, a 70-kilometer stretch from Malolos, Bulacan to Clark, Pampanga. It will be further extended to La Union, Tuguegarao, and Subic Freeport. We expect itong Phase 1 ng PNR project, Tutuban to Malolos, to be completed in 2021, and the Phase 2, Malolos to Clark, by 2022. Another good news, we are pleased to inform our kababayans abroad that the Overseas Filipino Bank is set to open this week on January 18. If you would recall, the establishment of the Overseas Filipino Bank is a commitment made by the President to the members of the Filipino communities every time he would meet them in his trips abroad. No? Last September, the President signed EO number 44, approving the acquisition of the Philippine Postal Savings Bank by the Land Bank of the Philippines and its conversion into an Overseas Filipino Bank. We recognize the contribution of our overseas Filipinos to our economic growth we are now enjoying, and related to this, we acknowledge their financial needs. We therefore aim to provide financial and remittance services tailored to the needs of our kababayan. Tara na po at hikayain natin ang ating pamilya, kamag-anak, kilala na magbukas ng bagong account sa Overseas Filipino Bank. On Mount Mayon Volcano, the alert level has been raised to alert number 3. The Bicol Region Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council, through the Office of the Civil Defense 5, with the Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology, PhilVox, and the Albay local government are closely monitoring communities around Mayon Volcano. No? 1,198 families, or 4,537 persons, have been taken to temporary shelters in 10 evacuation centers in Ginubatan, Camalig, Malilipot, all in Albay Province. The DSWD Field Office in Region 5 has 5.6 million in standby funds and a stockpile of 13,352 family food packs and non-food items consisting of 37,342 pieces malong, 382 rolls laminated sacks, 7,327 dignity kits, and 54,832 blankets. Dahil level alert 3 na po sa Mayon, lahat po na nakatira sa 6-kilometer permanent danger zone at 7-kilometer expanded danger zone, lumisan na po kayo panandalian at pumunta po sa mga evacuation centers. Ulitin ko po, yung mga nakatira sa 6-kilometer permanent danger zone and 7-kilometer expanded danger zone, lumikas na po kayo panandalian. I'd like to confirm that the President will attend the India-ASEAN Summit from the 24th to the 26th of this month. No? We place great importance on our relationship with India, which is considered an emerging economy. President Duterte's participation is an outcome of his bilateral meeting with the Prime Minister of India at the sidelines of the 31st ASEAN Summit. Also, the Indian-ASEAN Summit is the first summit event under the Singapore chairmanship of ASEAN, which has been supportive of the Philippines-ASEAN chairmanship last year. The fact that the President decided to attend is also because of a personal appeal by the Indian ambassador that in 2012, the commemorative summit held in 2012 in India, the Philippines was the only country that was not represented by a head of state. No? And that is why he has confirmed his attendance. No? Now, there's talk about abolition of the Vice President under charter change. That's beyond the control of the palace. As you know, it is Congress sitting as a constituent assembly that will propose amendments. However, I'm sure that because any proposed amendment to the Constitution will be subject to ratification by the people, that ultimately it is the people who will judge this matter. And finally, I wish to announce that the President has received the resignation of CHED Chairperson Patricia Licuanan, and that it will be accepted by the President. Questions?
MBC question. Maricel Halili, TV5.
Hi, sir. Good morning. Sir, can you confirm, is it true that ES Medialdea has called Chair Licuanan over the weekend and asked her to resign?
I have no information on that regard.
But what was the reason behind her resignation, sir?
I've not seen the resignation. It was received at 8 o'clock in the morning by email. A hard copy is forthcoming. I've not seen a copy of the forthcoming. I've been advised, though, that since it's been received, it will be accepted.
Meron na po ba tayo, sir, inaay who will replace Chairman Licuanan?
Wala pa po, but as is the procedure, the most senior of the commissioners will take over in an acting capacity.
Sir, na-consider po ba yung sinasabing excessive foreign travels ni Chair Licuanan?
This is an act of resignation. It was a decision of Chairperson Licuanan herself.
Thank you, sir.
Follow-up question. Pia Gutierrez.
Sir, ito po bang si Chair Patricia Licuanan, ito po yung sinasabi ni President Duterte that he will fire because of graft?
This was a resignation, an act of Secretary of Chairperson Licuanan herself. Her resignation has rendered all controversies being moot, and I don't feel compelled to issue any statement in that regard.
But has President Duterte noted the allegations against Patricia Licuanan, sir?
Yes, of course he knows about the allegations.
What did he say, sir?
Well, it doesn't matter really what he says or thinks because Chairman Licuanan has resigned.
Sir, yung sinasabi po ni President na tatanggalin po niya because of graft, pwede na po ba natin ma-announce today?
Well, all I know is that there is a resignation, Secretary Licuanan, and I'd like to highlight that there's 2 chairmen who resigned. What I'd like to highlight is General Corpus was personally, of the PCSO, was personally recruited by the President, and he had to resign because of health reasons. There's a letter that was sent by Chairman Corpus to the President. We did not release it only because it contains a medical abstract of his conditions, but the President noted that the resignation of General Corpus was upon advice of his doctors.
So, meron pa po ba, sir, na tatanggalin si President?
For now, I do not know.
Ito pong si Chairman Corpus, ito po ba yung sinasabi ninyo na tatanggalin ni President?
General Corpus resigned on his own because of health reasons.
But you mentioned, sir, yung sa briefing nyo sa Bukidnon that he will be replacing another chairman not because of graft.
Yes, not because of graft.
So, ito, sir, you were referring to Chairman Corpus.
I was referring to Chairman Corpus was not the chairman that the President wanted to remove because of a graft. He resigned voluntarily because of health reasons, and in fact, the President accepted that resignation, that irrevocable resignation, because the resignation was upon the advice of General Corpus.
So, sir, si Chairman Licuanan yung tinutukoy niyo, sir?
Again, as I said, all controversies about Licuanan has been rendered moot by her resignation.
Sir, any other announcement kung sino pa yung tatanggalin?
None
ni
for
President?
now.
Jopel? Microphone, please, Pia. Thank you.
Sir, follow-up ko lang po yung dun sa tatlong general, sir, na tatanggalin daw po. May go signal na po ba kung pwede ng pangalanan?
Wala pa po sa akin, but I'll be the first to receive the information and you would be the first to report on it.
Sir, pero automatically wala na po sila, sir.
Well, I think the investigation has been concluded and it's a matter of being announced.
Lanesca? I'm sorry.
Sir, follow-up, sorry. Follow-up lang, sir. Pero ongoing yung, for what ground yung pagtanggal sa kanila,
All
sir?
for cause.
Okay, sir, thank you.
Follow-up, Lanesca? Other issue? Follow-up? Okay. Tanong ko muna yung tanong ni Belia Cariaso on excessive trips. Kasama daw sa masisilip yung lahat ng departments, including yung sa PCOO officials?
I have no idea. But the President, in the one-on-one interview, has said that the cabinet members must seek his approval for their travels. No?
Okay, thank you. Henry Uri?
Secretary, good morning. May mga dating pinuno ng AFP at PNP, ilan ay mga general na humihiling na palayain si General Jovito Palparan dahil sa kanyang pakikipaglaban din sa mga NPA. Ito ho ba'y umabot na sa palasyo at ano ang sabi ng palasyo tungkol dito?
Well, unang-una, hindi ko po alam kung umabot na yan sa palasyo. Pangalawa, he is being detained pursuant to a warrant of arrest po. So it is the judicial process that will determine whether or not he can be freed. The President's options are limited. No? He cannot grant amnesty without the concurrence of Congress, and he can only grant pardon or parole after conviction.
Okay. Kaugnay din po sa issue ng NPA, ano ho ang talagang sinabi ng Pangulo ba talaga doon sa gusto niya ba talagang makausap si Ginoong Joe Masison, pauwiin para magkausap daw sila ng one-on-one?
Now, lalagay ko lang po siguro sa tamang konteksto. No? Kasi yung konteksto ng sinabi ng Presidente, ang tanong, ano ba talaga may pag-asa pa na mag-resume ang peace talks? At kung meron, ano yung gusto mong mangyari bago mag-resume ang peace talks? Ang sabi niya, kasi yabang ng mga NPA, gusto ko magpakumbaba sila. No? So the general answer is, kinakailangan mo nang magpapakumbaba ang NPA bago magpatuloy ang peace talks. No? And then, tinanong lang siya, si Joe Masison, kakausapin mo ba? O sige, pa one-on-one. No? Pero, in other words, contextually, it is not as if the President said he is willing to resume with peace talks after he talks to Joe Masison. No. What he said was kailangan magpakumbaba mo ng NPA. And the possibility of a one-on-one meeting was proposed by the journalist, and the President said, one-on-one, pwede siguro. But that is not a precondition for the resumption of peace talks.
Hindi ho ang Pangulo mismo ang nagsabi na umuwi siya para magkausap silang
Hindi
dalawa?
po. It's not as if the President wanted the talks as a precondition for resumption. No. Kailangan magpakumbaba muna yung NPA. And I will be releasing transcript of the NPA.
Anong klaseng pagpapakumaba, last Secretary? Anong klaseng pagpapakumaba?
Sabi kasi ng NPA talagang masyadong mataas ang paningin ng NPA sa kanilang mga sarili. No? At nandyan na rin yung usapin na gusto nila ng power sharing na imposible. No? So, he wants a general acknowledgement no, na the NPA are human beings, are Filipinos. No? And that they respect, I guess, the sovereignty of the Philippines.
Thank you.
Follow-up, Ace Romero.
Secretary, so does this mean the President is not totally closing the doors to the peace talks?
Well, you know, my remark has been famous. It is closed for now.
So,
Ang precondition niya, magpakumaba.
so there's a possibility that it...
I will release the exact wordings of the President within the day, I hope. No? I hope the transcript will be ready. But, yun, no?
So there's a possibility that it can still resume kung na-attain yung condition na sinasabi niyong magpakumbaba.
For now, sinasabi ko nga, the doors are closed.
For now.
For now.
It does not necessarily mean na it will remain closed.
Anything can happen in this world, I guess, no? But for now, it is closed.
So yung magpakumbaba, is he just referring to the rhetoric of the NPA or maybe he's referring to offensives?
Well, also in terms of sincerity nga, remember it was called off because in the first place, while talking peace, they kept on targeting our soldiers. In one instance, a turning point was when a soldier sustained 30 gunshot wounds. So, what's the point of talking peace when you will shoot 30 times at a soldier while talking peace? And of course, in another instance, there was a collateral damage. An infant. How on earth could you have an infant as collateral damage? A collateral damage in the first place is di sinasadya. Pero hindi maisip ng presidente paano hindi sinasadya yun. No? Infant nga yun.
The president was quoted as saying that it might require more than good faith on the part of the rebels. What did he mean by that, yung more than good faith?
You know, in that context, in the totality of context, walk the talk. Okay? Yun na yun.
Thank you, Secretary.
Okay, thank you. Follow up, Lanesca? Follow up.
Sir, about them humbling themselves, the NPA, how do we expect them to do just that when the president already said that they are terrorists and the DOJ is already readying the motion for the cancellation of bail?
Well, since he brought it up, they've also said that they will not appear in the court proceedings, no? Which is too bad because that would be their opportunity to dispute that they are terrorists. No? They're waiving their right to be heard. No? Of course, the law provides that they should be heard, and since they're waiving it, we can't do anything about it.
Follow up, other issue? Follow up, Joseph Morong.
Sir, si Joma may statement na I think he wants to meet first in a neutral country and then saka sila mag-usap ni President. Meaning, he's open to
Sorry
talking
to burst his bubble, he's not that important.
Lanesca, other issue. Follow up ba? Meron pa. Other issue, Lanesca.
Sir.
Followed by Philip.
Sir, here. Sir, about my question po yesterday, is it wise about the Benham the Philippine rice? Is it wise for us to grant China the permit for a research in this area, considering China's long history of occupying our exclusive economic zone, disrespecting our EEZ, and also in the context of the JMSU before, when after that joint marine seismic undertaking, the aggression of China within our exclusive economic zone increased and even attacked our soldiers with our fishermen with water cannons. So, how would you describe this move of the DFA, sir? Is it wise, strategic? Because it doesn't appear that way.
The president implements the law. When the law talks of sovereign rights, that includes the sovereign decision to share these sovereign rights with others. And this has been decided already by the Supreme Court in Labugal. So when you question the wisdom of the law, go to Congress. Because if this is not a wise move of the president, then a law could probably be enacted to prohibit it. But until Congress decides that it is unwise, the president is only the implementer of the law. He does not provide for wisdom of the law. That's how it is in our separation of powers. No? And that is why in this context, I would hope that our colleagues in government from the other branches of government could be faithful to their constitutional mandates, that the judiciary must actually rule on justiciable controversies involving interpretation of the Constitution and existing laws. Leave the matter of wisdom of the law to Congress.
Okay, thank you. Follow up. Other issue, Deo de Guzman.
Nakabarong si Deo. Mukha kang congressman.
Your Honor. Wala na po may suot. Sir, di po ba pinapanawagan ni Presidente na modesty amongst government officials since his first day in office? And then here comes the 7th-day birthday celebration of House Speaker Pantaleon Alvarez na sinasabi naman po ng iba na nagpakita ng masyadong magarbong pamumuhay ng House Speaker. How is the palace going to react on this?
Well, fortunately, nandun po ako nakita ko. Hindi naman po extravagant yung birthday party ni Speaker. Una-una, dun po yan sa Tagum City Hall. Yun po ang venue natin. Totoo po, maraming naimbita kasi halos lahat ng miyembro ng Kongreso naroon, halos lahat ng gabinete nandoon at nandoon ang presidente. Pero simple lang naman po. Simple ang programa, simple ang pagkain. Marami lang talagang tao dahil kinakailangan ding, I guess, no, isama sa sasaya yung kanyang mga constituents doon sa Tagum City. There was nothing lavish about the affair, I can assure you that.
Yes, sir. On another issue naman po, meron po mga private sectors workers po, grupo po na nagpapanawagan na gusto naman nilang itaas din o maitaas din ang sweldo sa pribadong sektor. How is the palace going to react on this, sir?
Meron pong mekanismo dyan, yung regional wage boards. They can petition the regional wage boards if they want to.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Philip Tebesa.
Sir, good morning. Specific
Good morning, sir.
dun lang sa issue nung sa Benham Rice. Specific comment lang from the palace, this is statement ni Associate Justice Carpio that it would be dumb for Manila to allow the Chinese to do research there while they have not recognized the arbitral ruling.
Well, unang-una po, no, hindi ko maintindihan why China should recognize the arbitral ruling. This is a difference between international and domestic law. In domestic law, you need to implement decisions of tribunals. In international law, the decision itself is the implementation of the law because that's a statement of the rights of the parties which cannot be extinguished and which does not depend on any country accepting its binding nature. Yan ang nature of international law. So hindi ko talaga maintindihan, with all due respects to Justice Carpio, he really is recognized as the intellectual heavyweight in the court, no? Why he insists that any country, including China, must accept it. Whether or not they accept it, it's there. And that's the binding nature of international law. Why is it binding on China? Whether or not it accepts? Because it's there. Secondly, ulitin ko po yung panawagan ko. Meron po tayong karapatan ng malayang pananalita, pero meron din po tayong kanya-kanyang katungkulan dito sa ating gobyerno ayon sa ating saligang batas. Yung issue po kung itong pagpapayag ng DFA na mag-survey ang dayuhan sa Benham Rice, isang bagay po ito na po pwedeng maidala sa kataas-taasang hukuman. Ang hinihingi lang po namin, pag dumating sa issue, dun po natin pagbutuhan at pagbigyan ng opinion. Pero sa ngayon po, respetuhin natin na sa ating saligang batas, ang foreign policy, ang presidente po at siyang architect pa rin ng ating foreign policy. At gaya ng aking sinabi kanina, wisdom of the law naman pertains to Congress.
So, are we saying, sir, that we no longer expect Beijing to recognize yung arbitral ruling, or is it to be okay for us?
I do not understand why you're even asking that, because the issue of whether or not China accepts the ruling is immaterial under international law. What is material under international law is it's there. And therefore, it's there. That's the unique feature of international law. You cannot deny what is there.
But what about, sir, implementation?
What is there to implement? What is there to implement? The only issue is the issues presented. No? Is there such a thing as historic claims to historic waters? Tribunal said none. And who has the right to build artificial islands? The tribunal said they are located, some of them are located within our exclusive economic zone and it pertains to the Philippines.
So is it okay if the Chinese don't recognize it? Parang non-issue na lang ba yan?
Under international law, it matters not what countries do with rulings which are accepted. Alam kasi, ang rulings ng arbitral tribunal, number one, the ruling of the UNCLOS, according to the UNCLOS itself, is binding on parties to the UNCLOS. Okay? Whether or not they accept the jurisdiction. Number two, it is considered a subsidiary means, a subsidiary source of international law, which means that it is evidence of the application of the relevant customary rule of international law. And when you talk of a customary norm of international law, it's binding on everyone whether or not they agree to it. So that decision, aside from being a treaty decision, is also a evidence that under customary law, the rulings of the arbitral tribunal are the binding legal principles, whether or not countries agree to it. So I do not understand why Justice Carpio belabors the point that China hasn't accepted it. In the first place, it's not for the Philippines to compel any state to accept it. If he can point to any mechanism by which we can compel a state to recognize anything, let me know. But the last I heard, sovereignty is they are entitled to think what they want.
But China, sir, is a signatory of UNCLOS, di ba?
Ano?
China is a signatory of UNCLOS.
That's what I said. No? The dispute settlement procedure of UNCLOS is clear. They have agreed to ad hoc arbitration in case they have not selected a mode of resolving disputes. The tribunal acquired jurisdiction, exercise jurisdiction, whether or not China will, according to the word of Justice Carpio, adhere to it is up to China. But as far as international law is concerned, it is there.
So, sir, may value pa po ba para sa atin, for the Philippines, ang arbitral ruling?
Of course, because it is there. It is subsidiary means of the relevant applicable principle under customary international law. It is a source of international law.
Okay.
Pag hindi nyo pa naman nakuha ko yun, ewan ko na.
Sir,
Public International Law 101 na yan, ha?
Lanesca, wait.
One last lang, sir. So, i-raise pa ba ito ng Pangulo, given yung kung ganyan na pala na...
Why should he raise it? You know, it's there. Hindi nyo nakikita na walang international police that will enforce these international decisions. What is the self-implementing nature of international law is the fact that the decision exists. That's it.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, last on Benham Rice.
Sir,
Lanesca.
given that under existing laws,
And
we can...
incidentally, I do not know the relevance really of the arbitral decision to Benham Rice because that's not part of the controversy. So to even confuse the arbitral decision with Benham Rice is wrong. It has never been contested. It was awarded to us by the UN Commission on the Extended Continental Shelf.
You mentioned yun, yung 2012 na declaration ng UN of this Philippine rice being part of our extended continental shelf. Given that it is allowed for us to engage in a joint research.
Course.
But
When
sir,
you
must
say
it be China? Why not other countries? Why China first?
Because the President decided so as Chief Architect of Foreign Policy. I'm sure, as stated by Secretary Alan Cayetano, other countries, if they wish, may also apply. Have they applied? I do not think so.
Okay, thank you, Lanesca. Other issue, Henry Uri. Microphone.
On the charter change, Secretary, saan ho ba pabor ang Pangulo? That the Senate and the House voting separately or the Senate and the House voting
I will ask
jointly?
him. You know, actually, in all candidness, it was my first time to know also that the President wanted a unicameral. I remember being asked about this, and I cited the PDP Laban draft, which called still for bicameral. It was in the one-on-one interview that I first heard him say it was unicameral. I will ask him, but I think I will see him already in the India trip, no? Unless I go.
And
some of
another
the
one, may
schedules.
report na daw po ba sa Malacanang? Umabot na ba yung report? May report na bang Department of Energy na may mga oil companies na nag-violate na sa sunod-sunod na pagtaas na presyo ng langis?
Alam ko po, ang DTI ang tumitingin sa bagay na yan. No? Dahil hindi dapat madali ang nagtaas. Pero I understand na by now, parang ubos na talaga yung initial inventory, no, for purposes of train, no? If that's what you're asking about.
So
no?
may report na po sa inyo sa palasyo? Wala po.
Wala pa po. But the DTI naman at their level is monitoring prices. No?
All right. Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you. From Ina Andolong first, sir. In an interview yesterday evening, you said admin will prioritize BBL first before Chacha, pero may previous statement si President Duterte na Chacha first before BBL, which echoes the stand of former CJ Reynato Puno. Just to clear, which one will really be prioritized?
You know, I invite you all to read the transcript of the interview because it will verify that I have been speaking for and in behalf of the President. The President wants to enact BBL first. In his words, mahirap na kung magsimula ang charter change para mapatupad pa yung BBL. So he is clear he wants BBL enacted. In fact, well, The discussion on EOT was on a completely separate context, and that was on charter change. Pero ang paninindigan talaga ng Presidente, even in that one-on-one interview, is that we must enact BBL first.
Okay, thank you, sir. Joseph Morong, microphone. Next, Henry.
Sir, I guess yung question kanina was on the mode of changing the charter, CONAS or CONCOM.
Well, malinaw na po ngayon. Mukhang CONAS na, nagdesisyon na ang Kamara, no? Hindi naman para sa Presidente pagdesisyonan yan.
Okay. So yung sa
At sumasang-ayon din ng Presidente dahil yan naman po ay ang pinaka-economical na paraan. No?
And given that, ano ng papel ng EO10? Because that's
Advisory naman po talaga ang EO10. It is ultimately Congress that will determine what it will propose by way of revisions to the people.
Has he appointed members?
He says, he knows who will constitute and that they will be available to Congress if Congress wishes to listen to them.
Sir, what did he say about the proposal of the federal system? Kasi medyo maliit yung number niya, 50, as opposed to 400 plus 3 senators per region as per the PDP.
That's what he said. He wants about 50 representatives.
Why only 50?
I do not know, but that's what he said.
Okay. So sir, sa transitory provision nung sa PDP, hindi kasama sa document eh. But si Attorney Lambino, who is the Vice President for International Affairs, said that they can elect all the members in 2019 except for the President who may be able to finish his term until 2020. Ano bang hanggang kailan siya? 22.
Well, wala pong nasabi.
He will have a role in the...
Wala pong sinabi si Presidente, but I will have to repeat what he says. He's willing to serve out his term until 2022, absolutely against extending his term, maybe willing to cut short his term.
Okay, thank you, Joseph. Rose Novinario, microphone. Maricel, paabot ng microphone kay Rose.
Na-late ka, Rose, wala ka sa iyong chair. Kamunti ka na ma-absent.
Traffic. Good morning, sir. Sir, anong klase pong sincerity yung hinihintay ng Administrasyong Duterte sa parte po ng kilusang komunista para po umusad uli yung usapang...
Yung sinseridad na kapag makikipag-usap ng kapayapaan, hindi babarilin ng 30 beses ang isang sundalo. Yun na
So,
yun.
ano yun, parang ceasefire talaga po? Bilateral?
Yun na nga nung Pasko, nag-ceasefire. May mga instances na nambulabog pa sila na ating kasundaluhan, no?
Pero po nung panahon po ni dating Pangulong Fidel Ramos, umuusad po yung usapang pangkapayapaan kahit po walang ceasefire, kahit po nagbabakbakan sila. Tuloy po yung peace talks.
Rose, alam naman natin wala rin nangyari doon sa peace talks na yun.
So, ayaw niyo pong mangyari uli yung ganon?
Kasi naman, kung walang good faith, and good faith is always the cornerstone of all agreements, wala talagang po pwedeng papagkasunduan.
Sir, may naikwento po si Presidente kung ano po yung assurance sa kanya ni Professor Joma Sison yung kanilang pag-uusap ng panahon ng ceasefire. Sabi po niya sa Mindanews interview, nakausap daw po niya si Joma Sison. Wala po siya naikwento kung ano na pag-usapan nila.
Hindi po recently yan. Siguro dati pa. Baka nung professor pa niya si Joma Sison. Ewan ko ba.
Pero meron po silang direct communication, di ba?
Ewan ko po, I dispute that. Walang hawak na telepono ni Presidente, paano sila magkakaroon ng direct communication?
Ganun ba? Kasi siya nagsabi, si Presidente nagsabi nun eh. Sa interview niya sa Mindanews nung Friday, na nakausap niya.
Wala siyang sinabi nun. Andun ako sa interview kaya nga sumama
Pero
ako
lumabas
sa interview.
po sa isang broadsheet na may sinabi
Wala
ng
po
Presidente.
na ganung sinabi ng Presidente. As I said, Rose, before you arrive, I will release the transcript either today or tomorrow.
Okay. Thank you.
Hindi naman ako nagtatype nun. Kayo talaga, oh. Texting nga lang, I'm so bad, patatype niyo pa ako. No, because you have to remember, you have to respect also that was an exclusive interview. So, kayo naman, weekend naman yun, no? Pabayaan nyo na yung mga transcribers, kayo talaga. No, if you want, I can release the audio tape and listen to it for 2 hours.
Raymond Tinasa?
Kita mo?
Good noon, sir. Sir, para mapunta lang sa dapat kinaukulan yung, lalo yung sa train, yung additional 200 pesos na cash transfer. Kasi wala bang balak i-review ang Duterte administration yung polisiya at patakaran ng pag-select ng mga beneficiaries ng CCT. Kasi hanggang ngayon ay marami pa napupolitika pa rin dahil marami yung mga nandoon na hindi naman dapat dahil kumpare ni Kapitan, kasi mga barangay captains yung namimili. Tapos yung mga nararapat na mga poorest of the poor ay hindi naman sila, yung mga karamihan, hindi tumatanggap ng conditional cash transfer. Para lang totoong mapakinabangan naman yung mga benepisyo mula sa gobyerno, sir.
Ipararating po natin yan kay Acting Secretary Leco.
Para yung sistema ba ng pamimili at hindi ipapaubaya sa lalo sa barangay level yung pag-select.
Right after this, I will call Acting Secretary Leco.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, questions? No more? Okay, Danesca.
Yung about voting po sa CONAS, the senators already said that they are opposed to joint voting because it would render the Senate vote useless. Considering that the Constitution is silent about it, what would be, as a lawyer, what would be the safer action to take
I do not
given
know.
this existing provision, sir?
I do not know, but it's subject to two interpretation. One is you accord it its literal meaning. The other is you construe the Constitution as a whole, in which case you discern the true intention of the drafters. No? So the court eventually will decide this matter. The position of the Senate that they will oppose a joint voting shows that if the House will insist on joint voting, there will be a justiciable controversy that will be resolved by the Supreme Court.
Okay, thank you. Last two, Henry and then Joseph.
Secretary, umabot na rin ba ho sa Malacanang yung report na willing ang Sanofi na ibalik yung pera na kinakailangang ibalik nila sa gobyerno?
That's good news if they are, para mapadali na yung proseso. No? But we have not heard of that. As in fact, the position of Secretary Duque, which is the position of Malacanang, is that they must refund.
Thank you.
Okay, Joseph, last question.
Yung sa reaction to the statement of Chairman Licuanan that there was a, mukhang pre-project siya ng mga taga-China.
No information. I only announced that she resigned. Resignation is always a voluntary act.
So immaterial whether she's saying, some groups worked for her resignation.
It was her decision to resign.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Presidential Spokesperson
Thank
Harry
you.
Roque. Thank you, Malacanang Press Corps. Back to main studio sa Radyo Pilipinas and People's Television Network.
Mula sa pananalasa ng Bagyong Vinta, inatasan din ng Pangulo ang iba't ibang ahensya ng gobyerno na bilisan ang pagtugon sa pangailangan ng mga apektadong mamamayan para maibsan ang bigat ng damdamin nila. December 30, Sabado, Rizal National Monument. Inalala ng Pangulo sa ika-121 anibersaryo ng kabayanihan ni Dr. Jose Rizal